Okay, so we are going to look at this worksheet and practice conditionals again. So remember that we learned how to use future real conditionals. So let's take a look at number 1. If I find a cheap air ticket, I'll fly to Costa Rica. Okay, so remember that we use the simple present tense in the if clause or the future conditional clause, and we use the future tense in the main clause. So I'll or I will fly to Costa Rica. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and take some time to complete these sentences or questions, and you can continue the video when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at number 2. What will you do if you, get a few days off? Okay, what will you do if you get a few days off? Okay, and then let's look at the next one. We won't go to the concert if tickets are too expensive. Okay, and then number 4, they will go skiing if there is enough snow. Okay, and then number 5, actually, you know what, let me make a quick comment about this. So in this case, snow is used as a noun, but as you know, snow can also be used as a verb. So some of you might have used this as a verb, and you might be curious, so let me just include it here. You can also say if it snows enough. So in this case, snow is used as a verb. That's why we have to use an S at the end, because it is a third person singular word. So they will go skiing if there is enough snow, or if it snows enough. Okay. And then number 5, if they don't find a hotel, they won't, or actually, I'm sorry, they will go camping, because you don't need a hotel if you go camping. Okay, and then number 6, if Rita has enough time, she will visit a museum. Okay, and of course you can use the contractions, she'll, they'll. Okay, so again, just make sure that you use the future tense in the main clause that shows the future possibility, and use the present tense in the if clause, which shows the condition. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next exercise. So exercise B, write questions, use if. Okay, use the present simple or future form of the verbs. So we already talked about this, and this time you're going to make questions. So you can see these words or phrases. What Pete do save some money? Okay, so we need to include some extra words and complete the questions. So what will Pete do if he saves some money? Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, take some time to complete these questions, and continue when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at number 2. We can ask, what will Janine buy if she goes to the mall? Okay, what will Janine buy if she goes to the mall? And then number 3, where will Ron go if he gets a vacation? Okay, where will Ron go if he gets a vacation? And then number 4, what will Carlos do if he doesn't go to the movies? Okay, so you can see here, not go, this is a negative, so we can say doesn't. What will Carlos do if he doesn't go to the movies? Number 5, where will Anna and her family go if it doesn't, rain on Saturday? Okay, if it doesn't rain on Saturday. And then Number 6. What will Len and Flora do? Oh, I'm sorry, where if they go to the party? Okay, what will Len and Flora wear if they go to the party? All right, so actually what I want to do is go back to exercise A. Go back to exercise A. And I want you to make questions for number 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You don't need to do it for number 2 because it's already a question. So make questions for numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So again, pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so let me change the color actually so that it's not confusing. Okay, so let's look at number 1. If I find a cheap air ticket, I'll fly to Costa Rica. So we can ask the question, what will you do if you find a cheap air ticket? Okay, and by the way, it's more common to say a cheap flight rather than air ticket. Okay, it's more common to say flight. So what will you do if you find a cheap flight? Okay, or you can even say airplane ticket, but we don't really say air ticket. But it's okay. So anyway, what will you do if you find a cheap air ticket? Okay, and then number 3. We won't go to the concert if tickets are too expensive. So we can ask, what will you do if tickets are too expensive? Okay. What will you do if tickets are too expensive? So in this case, the answer is a negative. We won't go to the concert, but that's fine. So what will you do if the tickets are too expensive? Okay, and then number 4, what will they do if there is enough snow? Okay, so they will go skiing if there is enough snow. And then number 5, what will they do if they don't find a hotel? What will they do if they don't find a hotel? Okay, they will go camping. And then number 6, what will Rita do if she has enough time? Okay, she will visit a museum. Okay, sorry for all the noise. Okay, so let's go to our final exercise. So correct the mistakes, add the missing word. Okay, so let's look at the first one, for example. If we have a few days off, we will go camping. Will is missing from the main clause. Remember, the main clause should be in the future tense. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and take some time to correct the mistakes in each sentence, and continue the video when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at the answers. Let me see if this works. Just a minute. I tried to do, yeah, there we go. Okay, so I did this in advance to make it clearer what the mistakes are. And I used the phrase in advance just now, which we also used earlier when we were talking about the conversation between Ricardo and Felicia, I think. So they were talking about their family traveling plans, family vacation plans, and they used the phrase in advance, which means ahead of time or beforehand. So anyway, like I mentioned, I did these in advance, and it saves time, so you don't have to watch me type everything. But the first mistake, or the mistake in the second sentence, is if it snows, we'll take our snow boots. if it snows, we'll take our snow boots. And then number 3, they will take a vacation if prices are not too high. They will take a vacation if prices are not too high. And then I won't go swimming if it rains. I won't go swimming if it rains. Number 5, Julio won't go to the party if it starts too late. Okay, if it starts too late. And then number 6, Barbara will take the children to the zoo if she has time. If she has time. Okay, and finally, I want you to make questions for each of these sentences. So go ahead and pause the video one more time, and you can continue when you are finished. Make questions. Okay, so for number 1, we can ask, what will you do? And in this case, you is plural. What will you do if you have a few days off? Okay, and the short answer is, we will go camping. Okay, for number 2, what will you do if it snows? Okay, or you can actually also say, what will you take if it snows? What will you take if it snows? And then number 3, what will they do if prices are not too high? Oops. Okay, what will they do if prices are not too high? They will take a vacation. Okay, and then number 4, oops. Okay, what will you do if it rains? What will you do if it rains? I won't go swimming. And then number 5, what will Julio do if the party starts too late? So in this case, you need to include this information, the party, in the question, because if you just say it, then it doesn't really make sense. What will Julio do if it starts too late? Then we don't know what it is. So it's better to say, what will Julio do if the party starts too late? And then you can answer, Julio won't go. Or you can say, Julio won't go to the party. But since the party is already mentioned in the question, you can just say, Julio won't go. Okay, if it starts too late. And then finally, number 6, we can say, what will Barbara do if she has time? Okay, what will Barbara do if she has time? And you can also say, where will Barbara take the children if she has time? Okay, and in this case, the short answer is to the zoo. Okay, where will Barbara take the children if she has time? To the zoo. Okay, so depending on the question word, you can focus on different answers. Okay, so we're going to end here, and next time we will do lessons C and D. Okay, so this was a little bit shorter, but that's okay, and I'm sure you appreciate it as well. Okay, so I will see you next time.